What's on everyone's mind? Whether or not Valentino will show up in Montgomery, Alabama this weekend. What do you think? We got some news.
I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution.
I haven't seen the sun in a fucking week and a half. Hey, look! It just came out! Look at that!
I love it!
And we are back, and 1 week out, less than 1 week out from the Montgomery, Alabama appearance that we're all going to be at, the entire whack pack that is, at the Body Be One Classic, hosted by our good friend Michelle. And let's see who's here today. We lost
Where'd
someone.
Larry go?
We had four.
we had
one. Down one.
The whole bottom row, it's gone.
Yeah, I think you're the only person not coming this weekend because you got clearance too late, huh?
I got clearance too late, unfortunately. I maybe be able to join you guys on a video or something.
Oh, yeah. Well,
No, we're not going to do that. You got to be there.
Yeah, it's kind of like
sorry, but you know, you got to.
I'll see you next year for sure. How about that?
There you go. I mean, come on.
We're in this like bubble of incomprehensibility when we go there. It's like nothing else exists outside of that bubble. So
right,
let's you gets drunk, right?
Actually,
I don't know.
I'm not drinking this time.
The question is, will Greg show up? Because there's been cancellations. There's been to be honest with you, I haven't spoken to Michelle. I don't even know what the latest with Greg is, to be honest with you. Let's see if he shows up on the show today.
Yeah,
if he doesn't show up on the show, that means he's not coming because he's too embarrassed.
Do you realize what we're witnessing now in real time?
What?
We're watching Greg morph into a cranky old Italian man.
I thought he already was that.
Well, no, he's in the flux stage, but now it's like the mitochondria separating, and like his mitosis is a complete, and now he's all the way. How much, Greg? I love you. I would say this right to your face, and you know it. How difficult is it to fly from New York to Why does he have to make such a deal out of it? Just go to LaGuardia, get on the plane, shut your brain off, and go. I mean, come on.
He's acting like we're asking him to go to China or something like that, John.
China. Once you are out of the house, parked at the airport, gone through security, and at the gate, it doesn't fucking matter where you're going. You can go to Egypt or Syria. It doesn't fucking matter. You're there. You're there. So it's just how many more hours is it going to take?
Remember, his big thing was Atlanta airport, right? He didn't want to.
Right. He hates Atlanta airport. So now Atlanta being probably the number one hub.
It's the only
on the East Coast, on the Southeast,
Alabama,
right? So he would rather go to L.A.
Right.
If and change planes and fly back.
Are you going?
There he is.
There he is. Right.
What's the
Greg?
What's the final verdict?
My ears are ringing. Is that what you guys were talking about me?
We're talking about you, yeah.
I was talking exactly about you. Yes.
What happened?
I said.
Alabama.
Right, and I said, and you'll confirm that you would rather change planes in L.A. than change planes in Atlanta.
Probably you're right with that. But
See?
LA's
that's a whole day flight.
Yeah.
No, I don't like.
He'd go 8 hours out of his way to avoid Atlanta.
I actually thought about driving.
That's what I'm doing.
Hey, John, he couldn't get the car. The car wasn't good enough to get to the airport, but it's going to make it to Atlanta.
No, I would have said to
Montgomery, Alabama.
I forgot. I forgot about that.
Not my car. My car's lucky to make it out of my driveway.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
I would have said to Michelle, you know what? Maybe I'll rent a car. See if she rent a car. It's cheaper anyway if she did that than fly.
Oh, you mean rent a car from up there and drive all the way to Montgomery? I see what you're saying.
How long of a drive is that?
Oh fuck, I don't know, 16, 17 hours.
You'll never make it. You have to leave the day before.
It's
I
5
would-
hours for
I
me.
would-
You'd have to come Thursday.
You
I would-
wouldn't do
I
that
would do
straight,
it.
Greg.
I'm
would you?
going
Like,
Thursday anyway.
Oh, you are?
Yeah,
Take a few scoops of pre-workout and just ball it all the way.
that's
God,
it, baby.
He's
I'll
going,
fucking-
hold on. He wasn't going, but now he's actually going a day early. Did you hear what he said? He was
Yeah.
going Thursday anyway.
I'm going Thursday. Are you going to be there Thursday, Dave? or
No, I'm going Friday morning. What am I going to be there Thursday for?
But we still don't have the answer to the question.
What's
I'm
that?
glad you're going Thursday.
By
'cause
what
I know
means-
my documentarian guy interview you if you're going to go Thursday.
That's
fine.
true. By what means are you traveling to Montgomery?
Yeah.
Well, I'm flying.
Through
good.
which airport?
I'm gonna leave out of Westchester, and then I'm gonna wait.
You actually got a flight from Westchester? That's great.
I get a flight every year. I left last year from Westchester.
So why are you complaining? It's like a
Nobody's
half
complaining.
hour from your house.
Nobody's complaining. I have no problem with that. It's going to fucking. I
Atlanta.
don't like Atlanta.
No, but you were complaining that you couldn't get a ride. But you're
No,
not
no,
going to
I
you're
know.
not going to LaGuardia. You're going to White Plains.
You know, listen. I gotta have somebody drop me off at the airport, and I'm.
But White Plains is so close to you.
What do you want me to do? Walk?
You take an Uber.
You're acting like
No,
you're
take an
acting
Uber.
like it was like 100 miles away from your house.
No, I never. No, you misinterpret everything. No, I
What,
never
I mean,
said
how
that.
hard is it to get a ride to Westchester White Plains Airport? It's the easiest airport to get to.
I thought his deal was with Atlanta.
It's like the size of my
Yeah.
house, the airport. It's
My
the
deal
smallest
is-
airport.
No, I have no problem with that. It's because last year I was going early. Couldn't. Last year my daughter gave me a ride, but I can't get a ride from her. I can't get my car. I can't drive my
But
car.
an Uber would be probably like $30. I mean, who cares?
Listen, it's more than that. But listen, my problem's not Westchester Airport. My problem is I don't like going. Every time I've been to Atlanta, I get these fucking goddamn when I miss the plane. They fuck around over there. They make you. Oh, you.
All right, but let's say you missed. Why don't you do this?
I missed the plane last year.
Hold on. When you guys check in Westchester,
Yeah.
I'm being 100% serious.
Yeah.
I want your girlfriend to tell them my husband is he's handicapped. He needs a wheelchair in Atlanta. So when you land in Atlanta, they'll come with the wheelchair and they'll wheel you down to the gate where your connecting flight is, which is probably 2 gates over from where you land. And this way you can't miss it because someone's going to take you there.
No,
you-
except,
True.
well, wait,
You gotta
back
be-
up.
Tip 'em.
And tell
Back up.
all I ask
No.
is that your girlfriend videotape the whole thing.
They would look at me and be like, "Holy shit, he is handicapped."
Just tell them to get
That's
one
right.
set of legs.
No one would question it.
It's
You're
all
63 years
good
old.
except for one
You have
thing.
no gallbladder. You're diabetic. Just tell them you need help. You need a
Get one
wheelchair.
set of legs.
You got to arrive at the
Yeah.
restaurant early so you can order. You know?
Right.
No, wait, hold
No,
on.
the only thing is it's not going to be the gate next door. It's never the gate next door. It's
That-
always the other side of the airport.
That's why he needs a
17,
wheelchair, John.
you know,
That's the
5
wheelchair.
concourses away. You arrive at A and you leave at a Z. It's always like that.
You'll be going through the airport like OJ was in the old
On the,
commercial.
with the
Yeah,
cart,
yeah,
he's going to
first
get a,
commercial.
no. They're
You
going to
arrive.
take the wheelchair. They're going to take the wheelchair to the cart that beeps all the time. The thing that goes beep beep.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're going to
No,
sit him
you-
on the back of that, and then with his bag and Lucia, and they're going to like drive with the red light blinking, and they're going to go boop, 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 through
Out
the
the way.
airport so he can get to through A, through B,
I
through
would
C,
definitely do
through
that.
D, and then they'll
I'm
get
telling you,
to
do
F.
it. Do it. No one will question it. Like,
Greg,
you,
it's a lot
year
of
we
fun. I've
get
done
in-
it before.
you definitely are. You're
You
definitely.
gotta have a
handicapped
cane.
when it comes
You
down.
gotta have a
We got
cane
in
or a
last-
crutch or something under that desk.
Dude, last year we got. I'm ugly.
Just get a couple $10 bills. He'd be fine. Slide him a couple tens. He'd be good.
Listen, last year we got in, it was like fucking, we get into Atlanta. It's like you get in like gate 18 and you're like, oh, you need to go to gate 182 or some shit. I'm
Right.
like, what?
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm fucking running through the airport with these fucking suitcases, fucking, fuck that shit. What's John Scuderi saying?
Larry said when he used to go to dog shows, he would ask for a wheelchair for his son, and he put the dogs on the son's lap.
So very smart.
Oh, shit. I need John Scuderi with me.
No,
John knows all the scams. Yeah, if you want- no, but seriously, Greg, I'm telling you, have your girlfriend in White Plains. Tell them you need a wheelchair when you land in Atlanta because you can't walk to the gates, and they'll come. You'll sit down. You don't have to worry about anything. You'll be like in style. They'll wheel you to the next gate. just have her videotape it so we can play it on the show this next week. That's all. That's all. I ask.
And make sure you and absolutely you got to be wearing sunglasses. No two ways about
Well,
it.
he only wears sunglasses.
No, because he's gonna be moving his head like Stevie Wonder.
He's blind. Yeah.
Oh, I should do that. I should come with one of them sticks and shit. Make believe I'm like, where are we? I'll be, what time's the train coming? And they're like,
You know, John, when I mentioned that the wheelchair, I see Larry's like face lighting up. He's like, "Holy shit, that's a great idea." I think Larry's going to.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it for sure. 100%.
Larry's got a bad back. Yeah, so you know.
Last time I went through, when I went to Pittsburgh, when I came back, they dropped me off in LA, and I was on some weird flight, and it was like some weird terminal out in the boonies somewhere, and I swear I had to walk like 3 miles to get to the baggage claim.
Yes,
wow. And it was like through all these different tunnels.
It's bad.
I pulled that shit coming back from Mexico after doing Ibogaine on a wheelchair. It was great.
Larry, let me ask you a question. Do you have a layover or no?
Yeah, there was no flights without a layover.
Where are you going? You're not going to Atlanta though, right? Where's your layover?
I have to look it up. I think
Probably
it might
Dallas.
be. Yeah.
Dallas or Atlanta?
Dallas, yeah. I would think Dallas.
No, but why would he's coming from LA? Why would they fly him all the way to Atlanta then to go back that way? No, wouldn't it be like Dallas or something like that, Texas?
Alabama is straight down from.
No, because Greg, when I was coming, it was going to be from Colorado to Atlanta.
Oh, you're not going?
I can't. I was going to, but they didn't give me my.
Well, he could. He would just have to go to jail when he got back.
Yeah.
Shit! Really?
Well, no. I could probably get permission now. I just didn't get it in time. I had a ticket, but we had to, make sure that, So
why did they clear it though? What was the problem?
There's all this new stuff that we found out that I was telling you about, and I think that they're just being assholes to me because you know what ended up happening? I've been on this thing so long, they finally stopped UAing me. I passed all the class. I've done everything successfully. So there's no reason for them not to do anything anymore. They just.
You know what's funny? It's funny you say that because I saw the other day, maybe I fucking dreamt this. I swear to God, but I saw on TV, on Fox, they were saying that they were actually talking about that Ibogaine shit where they were saying they might try to legalize it. Did you see that shit or no?
It's legal in his state.
It's legal in my state.
Yeah, it's legal where he's being charged.
Why don't you put those? Why don't you put those cops like those fucking prosecutors? Why don't you put a little bit of Ibogaine in their drink and shit like that? Fuck them up, and then
Greg, we're trying to get him out of trouble, not in trouble.
Right.
Sorry.
You hear what he's saying? He's saying administer it to people. I don't do that, dude.
No, I meant to the.
No, he's not saying administer it. He's saying spike their drink with it.
Spike their drink with it, right? That's what I'm saying. So you got them fucked up. They don't give a shit about anything then, right? Yeah, go to fucking Florida.
I don't think it works like that, but that'd be funny.
I
no, actually, I'm going
like a supplement.
I'm going through Dallas.
Oh, you are going through Dallas.
That's right. That's usually where it goes.
Larry, what day are you going?
Thursday.
You going Friday morning? Oh, so I'll see you there Thursday. All right, Thursday. I'll be there Thursday. We'll talk.
Okay.
We'll talk shit about Dave. We'll fuck.
No, I leave Thursday at 2:30 in the afternoon, and then I get there at 7:43 p.m.
with a 3 hours, 2 hours time difference.
Yeah.
Well, it's their time too. I'll be there. I think somewhere around 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I don't know, fucking something like that shit.
On Thursday?
Then I go from Dallas to Montgomery.
Montgomery, right? I'll be there, Larry. We'll fuck around a little bit. Jimmy called me this morning.
I don't think Larry does that shit, Greg.
Yeah.
Like that. Larry, I'll push you around the hotel with a wheelchair and shit like that. I'll say this is one of Jerry's kids.
First thing I do when I get anywhere is I got to go grocery shopping.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What are you getting?
Larry,
whatever. If there's a Costco there, I'll get like those rice bowls that you can cook in the microwave.
Oh, shit.
Last time I traveled to Pittsburgh, I brought too much food with me, and it was like a whole suitcase full of the food, and then they charged me extra.
Oh
So I'm
shit,
hoping I can buy it there.
Larry, don't wait, hold on, Larry, don't do that. Trust me, just charge the food to Dave's room.
If you do that this year, Greg, I will not be sending you any more protein. I'm telling you.
Well, listen,
I lost money last year.
Cut off on the protein powder. No more pudding. No more
because
pudding.
him and Lee Priest, I lost money going to that appearance.
But here's the
I don't
thing.
eat
I believe that. I know
Larry could get
Lee did
Larry.
it with me. He's the one who was Lee's idea.
Larry could get a whole entire meal at just at what Greg tells the waitress to leave off.
Yeah,
so
that's true. That's true.
you know, so yeah, so you can compose a whole meal out of that. He leaves half of everything. He leaves almost everything off. So
what's up?
Just bring this, Larry, right here.
Yeah, there you go. You bring that, and then everything Greg will eat,
that.
and then there you got a meal for free.
There you go. I live on. Dave just sent me this like a week ago. Look, it's half.
Don't say it'll feed the poor, John.
Right.
Look at that.
You don't
It's half
charity
gone.
case.
He does like it. That's why I sent it to him. So he uses
Dude,
it.
I eat it twice a day because I don't eat real. My mother-in-law came over here the other day, right? And she brings Mexican food. And I'm starving. She's kind of calorically challenged, she's fat. So I was like, oh, bro, I'm starving. She brings Mexican food. So I said to her, do me a favor, lift up your shirt and show me your belly button because I need something to fucking kill my appetite.
I wish I had someone making me Mexican food, John, and he's not even eating it. That's the funny thing.
Oh, no Mexican food. Bro.
So how do you eat a taco without the tortilla?
I don't eat no tacos, bro. I don't eat anything Mexican. Nothing. Just my girlfriend.
John, he doesn't eat tacos. He only eats hot dogs.
Right.
No, I cannot eat that shit. If I ate that, my stomach will die. I eat like 4 or 5 foods and that's it. The same shit all the time.
Armin just snuck in.
Yeah.
Twice a day. Twice a day right there. And you know what?
Are you booked? You're booked, right? You're going.
Your mic is off.
Yeah, your mic's off.
Can't hear you. Yep.
Can't hear you.
Nope.
We'll
So Greg, a lot of times I go on the rice pudding diet. I eat just rice and species protein.
Wait a minute, but you brought up a good point a couple weeks ago. Maybe 2 months ago. You said to Dave, I love Dave's Protolize, okay? The problem is there's fucking like you even said there's like 2 fucking weeks of scoops, like there's 14 servings in there. I'll go through that shit in fucking 1 week.
Well, it's a bigger serving size too. It's 30. Remember, it's 30 grams of protein plus it has the stuff to make it into a pudding. So
it's a pudding.
It's a bigger serving size than the scoop of Isolize. That's why.
I know, but why don't you put it in a fucking big box like this, like a big?
Because it'll cost $200, and then no one will buy it. You can't. It's more of a dessert. Like it's not like a protein supplement. Like Isolize is a protein supplement. It's 28 grams of protein per serving. Okay, but the other thing is actually like a meal replacement almost because it's 30 grams of protein, but it's a pudding. It's actually got some.
Is it isolate?
Yeah, it's really good though.
It's isolate and casein to make it thicker, but it's a pudding. But we have like some.
Really
I have some
better
in there,
and there's almost like no carbs in it, right?
How about this, Dave? How about a big bag of sugar-free puddings? Dave Palumbo's pudding mix, and then
the Protolize is pudding.
How does he come out of nowhere and start chanting
when
this
you use
stuff?
good ingredients?
No, I'm saying
what's this?
What I'm saying is that you buy the protein powder, and then you get the different flavor. You have 90 different flavors of sugar-free protein.
90 flavors. I'm going to keep 90 different SKUs, John.
There you go.
How many you got now, Dave?
That's why I'm in business, George, because I don't have 90 SKUs.
Dave, I'm talking about sugar-free, different flavored pudding.
I know the problem is you can't
no protein in it. No protein in it. No. And then I can take pistachio.
No one wants the people.
Pistachio.
No one wants the inconvenience of having to mix shit
What
together.
is he talking about?
He means like having a plain and protein.
I put lion's mane mushroom in my coffee.
He means to sell the flavor packets, John.
Yes.
Oh, that's what he's doing. He's doing flavor packets.
Yes.
No one wants to mix two things together.
Dave.
So here's what you do with Isolize. You take steamed rice, plain steamed rice, cold from the refrigerator, left over from yesterday. All right. And you put a lump of that in the bowl, and then you mix up the Isolize a little thicker than normal, and you pour that on top of the rice.
Right.
And you put cinnamon on it, and when you stir it up, you put it in your refrigerator for like an hour. And when you take it out, the rice has absorbed most of that.
You were serious about this rice.
Hold on, wouldn't you want to put more liquid in there, John, so that you have like something for the rice to absorb?
The rice is already cooked, so it's cold, so it's sticky, so it'll absorb like what depending on the consistency you like it. I don't like it really
put a
runny.
little extra water if you're gonna put the rice.
Depending on how you like, depending on the consistency, you got to play with it. But man, I'll tell you what, you take that out of the refrigerator in an hour, and it's all cold.
I'm gonna try. I didn't even think to do that. I'm gonna try that.
Fucking amazing.
Why don't you film a video of you doing that? I'll put it up on the Species site.
All right.
No, you know what I do? I use
That's what it is.
You see the Lily's chips, right? I throw that in there.
I throw some of those in. The white ones.
It's the
no, that's racist.
It's the fucking the isolize with peanut butter, right? And I make it really thick, like fucking mud, and I throw these things in there. It tastes exactly like you're eating chocolate chip cookie dough.
I didn't think to do that.
Yeah, man.
The Lily's chips. These are fine. As you guys know, these are
they're organic,
no sugar.
Except they're only 35% cocoa.
I'm gonna tell. Well, you know what? Yeah, you guys. That's like when you're a kid, you eat those things, right?
Right.
I'm going to show you something I just got that I ordered from Amazon. I just got them.
Greg, don't eat cheap shit like that, man.
This ain't cheap. This fucking bag's like $8. You know what I'm saying?
It's only 35% cocoa.
Oh, there's no sugar added to those.
Okay, there's no sugar. Zero sugar. See?
Oh, okay. I didn't see
that's the reason why.
Yeah, but it's full of mannitol.
I'm going to tell you, if you guys like chocolate, hold on. If you guys like chocolate,
it's not mannitol. It's fucking.
What do they put?
It's not. I can't eat mannitol. It'll make me shit my ass out.
What is it? What is it in there?
What kind of alcohol? Some kind of sugar alcohol.
I gotta get reading glasses on. I'll tell you what's in here. This is the most popular. Hold on. I gotta see. Let me see. I can't see shit. I'll tell you what it is. Unsweet. It's erythritol. It's a urethra.
Erythritol is a sugar alcohol.
Yeah, but that's it.
If you don't eat too much of it, you're fine. If you don't eat too much of it, you're fine. But I'm going to show you something better.
Chicory root, cocoa butter.
All right, listen to me.
Okay.
Listen to me. You know I find the best stuff. Listen.
Yes, you do.
See this stuff?
Where?
That's
called
it.
Chalk
Exactly.
Zero.
That's it. Yup.
Oh, you know this stuff
Zero.
too, John? Yeah.
Yep. I ordered that from Amazon.
It's only got monk fruit in there. That's the only ingredient, monk fruit. And monk fruit doesn't bother your stomach.
Wait, monk? You mean sweetener? The only
sweetener in there is monk fruit, right? So it's dark chocolate. There's no milk in there, because that fucks my stomach up. There's fiber, soluble corn fiber, so you don't absorb that. And the monk fruit sweetens it.
It's just monk fruit. No monk fruit urethral.
No erythritol in there. No, it's just
because the monk fruit you buy in the store when it
has
says
erythritol.
monk fruit, it's not full monk fruit. It's sweet with urethral.
I know.
They trick you.
This stuff is delicious.
And so Dave, you smash those up into chips into pieces. You sprinkle them on your oatmeal.
So there's no urethra in there, right?
No erythritol in there, Greg.
No urethra.
Yeah, that stuff bothers my stomach.
You get 4 bars for $21. It's a pretty good deal, and they're big bars.
I don't know. This don't give me the shits though. I don't put a lot in there. I only put a.
Well, you're not using a lot of it, but I'm saying this is Greg, actually a better product.
This is 92%. Yours is 30-something.
Yeah, 35.
Yeah.
If you look, guys, never chintz on the stuff you put in your body. I mean, food, you should always buy the highest quality food you can buy, organic, pesticide free, or antibiotic. The best food you can get is what you should consume.
And then shoot body, man.
You can do all the steroids from China you want. I don't give a fuck. But what you got to do, you got to eat good food. You got to eat because the food supply is fucking poisoned, man.
When you go
to the supermarket and you weed through the produce and the packing and the foods, even the fresh stuff, it's all manufactured. It's got processing done to it. To find real organic, simple foods is what you got to do.
When you said
I'm scared. I buy the food
pesticide free,
like peppers and cucumbers, and I don't even know if I'm eating pesticides or not.
I soak them, man. I fill up the sink. I learned this in Mexico. You fill up the sink with water and you put a couple drops of iodine in there, and then you dump all.
Good too.
They use iodine in Mexico.
Iodine or baking soda?
Iodine. And you soak them in there for a while, and then you rinse them off, and then a lot of that shit will be killed. But I do that all the time.
Who has the time? I just eat it. At this point, I don't. I'm getting poison.
How about making homemade chocolate from regular?
Too much work.
Coconut oil, cocoa powder,
too much work,
and honey.
It's too much work.
That won't stick together.
We have a special.
John,
we have a special guest coming on here. We're going to talk about Alabama in a minute, but I want to bring the special guest because I used to do her diet.
Am I worried? Can you all hear me now?
Yeah, you're good, Armand.
Yeah.
Armand, your hair looks really good, bro.
I was about to say that, John. I didn't want to sound weird, but dude, Armand, your hair looks really good, bro.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like we got Alabama this week, and I woke up this morning. I'm like, I feel like fluish. I hope I'm okay.
Are you going?
When are you going?
Yeah.
What day are you
awesome.
going there?
I'm getting there Thursday night.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I'm probably the last one to get there. I'm getting there Friday.
Oh, I'm the last one to get there. I'm getting there
What's
Friday
wrong?
night.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'll be there
to-
Thursday,
me
Armand.
and Dave will be on the same plane.
It's not on the same. It's not.
Are you on that really early flight, George?
Yeah, I'm leaving here at 6 at Palm Beach
Yeah.
at 6.
Yeah, I'm leaving early.
She was telling
We'll
me
probably be on
it's not the
we'll
same
be on the
venue.
Atlanta
But why
flight.
doesn't George just come to your house and you guys can leave together?
No, we can't do that because I in the morning I can't have it. I can't. I don't want any stress in the morning.
I'll-
I'd rather be in Atlanta.
It'll be so fucking. It'll be
You
so
can't take George before 8 o'clock.
Like John said, once I'm in Atlanta, I'm already on the plane, so it's like
Wait,
like,
isn't Bobby
I'm
going
relaxed.
too? Isn't
if I
Bobby
see him in
going?
Atlanta, it'll be great. We'll
Can you
hug. It'll
imagine
be,
Bobby
it'll be
and George
great.
getting him in
Dave.
in the morning?
I'm going to have everybody in the Atlanta airport sing "Sweet Home Alabama."
That's fine. Once I'm in the airport, I don't care. I have no
That's
stress.
right. I swear to God, I'm going to do that. I get the.
With my luck, I'll get stuck in Atlanta with George for the weekend. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
at a different
I'll be
venue
on
this
the
year, though,
plane.
right?
No. I want you and Greg and George to be stuck in Atlanta.
Wait, isn't Bobby going too though or no?
Yeah, he said he's going.
He's
My
not
brother's a last minute thing. Yeah, my
Yeah.
brother is not going, not going. Then he comes.
Not going,
Tell him to print some Whack Pack T-shirts up and bring them.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Get 'em a
Notice
logo.
how the silence falls
Yeah.
over.
Why
Dude,
don't
tell
Send him
him
the link. Send him the link. Get him on the show.
Oh my God, this might cost money.
My brother,
Send him the link. Get him on the show so we can
Tell-
break his balls a little bit.
my brother rather spend 10 grand on steaks for all of us.
tell Bobby to show
I
us the
swear to
photos.
God, right?
He'll take us out to a steak dinner and then he'll tell Michelle to pay the bill. Yeah, here's the bill.
10 grand.
He will.
That
He
was-
will.
That's like a grand a piece.
He wants to get Greg the biggest steak he could ever get, like a 5-pound tomahawk.
Oh, I hope he's going now.
We'll videotape him in time lapse.
And of course, Greg will eat it with his hands.
I love his brother.
John, I'll eat his baked potato that he's not going to eat.
Yeah.
Right?
The microphone working? Hello?
Dude, I
Hello?
love his brother.
Hello?
Can you imagine Bobby?
We hear
Hello?
you. We hear you.
You're
Armand.
good. You're good.
Oh.
This,
Dave-
You're good. You're
We
good,
hear you.
Armand. You're
just
good.
7 of us talking at the same time. That's all.
Dude, you imagine Bobby and
Let's do
Dave and George with Dave at 6 in the morning. Dave would be like, "I can't go. I can't go." Dave would be like, "Get me off the plane."
No, you know what? I make a big deal about it, but the truth is they're good travelers.
You're
Actually,
the best. I love
I've
it.
traveled with them before. They're easy in the morning.
I
Don't you
love
remember
Bobby.
me dressed as Hulk Hogan? And they
Yeah,
waved
George
us,
and I used to always travel together.
they waved us through the security. There was a big line. All of a sudden, they point to us, right?
Well, you were dressed as Hulk Hogan. They thought you were Hulk
Right, they
Hogan.
waved us on, right? And we
I
went-
remember that shit.
we
No
got-
one
You
ever
look
wears
just
Halloween
like him.
costumes through the airport except for you, so they figured you're the real thing. That's
Did
why.
he have a feather boa on?
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but you know what's funny? Dave just finished saying, "I can't do that because he'll drive me crazy in the morning. I need peace and shit." Now he's like, "Oh, I drove for George a million times in the morning."
No, I'm admitting that I'm exaggerating that he's really not that bad in the morning.
He's not. He's great. I love him.
He's
After
always
8
traveling.
after 8 o'clock.
I love Bobby. He's a fucking great guy.
I was gonna do the intro for today, this morning, but my phone ran out of storage. I had a great intro.
Oh well, tomorrow. You do it
Oh
next.
shit, that up.
Why don't you delete that? Anyway, all right. I have a special guest. Yeah, she has a really good story. I wanted to tell. You know, we've been doing inspirational stories the past couple of weeks. She overcame what she overcame. You guys will not believe. All right. So let me get her on. Kim Jones, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, fellas? Am I coming in okay?
You're
Yep.
coming in
Yes.
great.
Welcome,
You're coming in.
Hi, Kim.
Welcome, Kim.
Welcome.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you.
I did Kim's diet for many years. She's got
Awesome.
an awesome physique. And I'm going to pull up your Instagram, Kim. So
Okay.
I can show them some of your pictures. What's your Instagram again?
Jones.strength.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Why don't you start telling him your story? What, as far as how you got into training and everything.
Oh yeah, so in regards to training, I grew up with 3 older brothers, so was always athletic, played basketball, was a competitive dancer, all that stuff. And then I joined Metroflex in Long Beach back in 2012. And I watched bodybuilding growing up when it was actually on TV, like network TV. So I was always a fan, and discovered that figure was a category I thought that I could actually compete in. So that kind of got the ball rolling with the competitive bug. And then 2014 turned pro at USA's, and then hit the pro circuit, and then worked with Dave when I moved up to women's physique.
Yep.
But that was my last photo. Like literally the summer before I got sick, that was my last photo shoot. That was summer of 2023.
She had an
like
awesome
Linda,
physique.
looks like Linda Murray.
Yeah, she's awesome. She
Good
could have gone very
volume.
far. She could have gone very far. Now, Greg, this is going to resonate with you because she had something very similar to what you had, only way, way worse. So when you think that you had a bad deal,
what happened?
Kim overcame is unbelievable. So tell us what happened when you first got what was the first symptoms?
So 29. So when I was working with you, Dave, I had this white patch on my tongue, and my biological dentist was concerned about it. But I grew up with something called geographical tongue, so I always had like white patches on my tongue.
Oh, I had that.
I had
Okay.
that too.
I had that. Yeah.
But George, you have a fungal infection problem.
No, George's is scar tissue from licking flagpoles in the wintertime.
Oh, John.
That's part of the show here. We got shtick we got to do.
I thought we learned from A Christmas Story not to do that. That's funny.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I had that, but was like, whatever. I always saw stuff on my tongue, but this was different. Got a biopsy. It came back as non-cancerous, but there was some. I didn't have cancer, but there was precancerous cells. So cut to March of 2023, that patch just like blew up. My tongue got super swollen, and I didn't know what was going on. And I didn't want to get a biopsy because I know that sometimes that causes cancer to spread. But in the back of my mind, for the 4 years prior, I was always just keeping an eye on it. But it blew up. Turned out it was squamous cell carcinoma. So the tumor on my tongue, I mean, it covered half my tongue. It crossed the midline. It covered half my tongue. I couldn't eat. I was sleeping. Like I was literally dying. It spread to my cervical lymph nodes. So that's why I've got all these scars here, because I had tumors pushing out of my lymph nodes.
Holy shit.
I'm going to show you guys this. Hold on. You guys are going to be like really grossed
It's
out.
horrific.
But she sent it to me, so I'm putting it up. Hold on.
I had my lymph nodes taken out, and I had a growth in my throat. It was bad.
Greg, this is you're going to be like you had nothing wrong with you when you see what she had.
He's also a diabetic and had his gallbladder removed.
Look at her tongue.
This is the progression.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It gets worse.
Oh wow.
What?
Yeah, gnarly.
Oh,
God, it's a miracle she's here.
look at her neck. Oh my
Look at her
God.
neck.
Yeah. Shit. Holy
Oh.
Christ.
Holy shit.
And then it gets worse, fellas. It's crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah.
What was in those things?
Just cancerous tissue was like pushing out.
Oh
of-
Christ.
Holes in her neck. Look at that.
Yeah, that's bad.
Did that happen by itself, or they cut them out? What was that?
No. That was all from chemo. So it's like all the dead tissue was just expelling through my skin.
What the fuck? That was freaking.
So I had holes. I had open wounds.
We saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, like they were just completely
For
open.
how long? How long were it open like that?
For months. It started in August, and then the last one closed up last June.
Why wouldn't you just? It's like because I had like my lymph nodes taken out and everything, but I didn't have that. The thing is, though, why wouldn't you just get the operation? Like they told me, we could do radiation, chemo, and all that. But if we just cut it out, you'd be way better. You don't want radiation, lose your teeth and shit.
No, I would have preferred something more minor. But what I didn't know, because I waited so long, is that once it enters your cervical lymph in your late stage, they don't treat locally. They just treat globally. So surgery, the tumor was too big to cut out, so they couldn't do surgery. And I think they were too big. They were too big to cut the lymph node. So the only option I had was chemo, and I did like 4 days of radiation. And after that, like that's when stuff really just started to push out. It was the most excruciating.
Did that fuck you up like the chemo fuck you up too?
All of it did. Great. Honestly, it's like chemo did. Like the nausea. Has anybody here ever had chemo before?
No, I didn't need it. Yeah.
The nausea is unlike anything you've ever experienced. I mean, I was down. There were points in the hospital where if I could have pushed a button to end it, I would have. Like, it was
I
bad.
take it Zofran didn't work.
What's that?
No, not with
Zofran started to work. They gave me oral. The first time I had nausea, they gave me oral.
Sublingual.
And then, once that wore off, I was like dying. It was the worst than the spins. It's like something I've never experienced. And then they gave me IV Zofran. And then
did that do it?
For like 6 weeks.
Yeah, oh shit.
So they'd cut out a piece of your tongue then, right?
No, that's the crazy part. Like my tongue.
Hold on, let's see.
I didn't want to see this.
Like a piece missing.
It's really not that bad.
Yeah, no, it's not bad.
That's where the scar tissue was. So the chemo just basically broke, and the radiation just broke all that down. But the crazy part, fellas, is that if they could have operated by the time I was trying to get help, they would have probably cut off like half my tongue. If not,
oh, shit.
What? Let me ask you a question.
That'll keep getting better, right, as time goes on.
So I do tongue exercises, and I do stuff to kind of mobilize that scar tissue. So my speech continues to get better. I have like a little bit of a lisp, but I don't even really know. You know, the crazy thing is, Romano, nobody talks to me about it. I mean, when I go, I go to my checkups, they feel around my neck. They don't really.
Can you taste food though? Can you taste?
Yes,
food?
I can.
You didn't lose your taste?
Never.
Okay.
Oh, thank God for that.
You're the luckiest. I'm serious. She's the luckiest person in the world. I mean, was there a point? And I'm asking you this because I know how I would think. Was there a point where you're like, I don't think I'm going to make it. I think this is it. I mean,
she said if she had a button on there, she would have pushed it.
Yeah,
but that's because she felt terrible. I'm just thinking like when she saw the way she looked. And
did
you think like this is like I'm never going to recover from this?
The crazy part about all of this is that I don't know what anybody believes in regards to reincarnation or anything like that, or like karmic type of resolutions or what have you. But I honestly, in my heart, just knew. Like I was never scared. There were times they were telling me stuff like, if this doesn't work, you got to get your affairs in order, whatever. I was never thinking I wasn't going to get out of this, and I felt like this might have been some sort of I feel like I chose this. If we have multiple life cycles and you kind of choose what your traumas and difficulties are going to be, I had been reading about that stuff before I got my diagnosis. I kind of felt like maybe before I came into this life, this is what I chose to force me to kind of learn a lesson. And my lesson, I feel, was that I grew up in a family where I couldn't really speak up for myself. I was shut down at an early age. I was holding my tongue like my whole life. I would hold my tongue. I would wait until I got super furious to speak up for myself. So I feel like, why wouldn't it manifest in my throat and on my tongue? Wow. So I kind of feel like that was the emotional part of the healing that I also had to do, right? And never once thought I didn't make it. But at the same time, I was like, yo, if this is my time, it's my time. I was ready, but I didn't think I was going to go.
Kim, was there a time that you could determine that this is the turning point? Like today is better than yesterday? Was there a discernible point?
There were two moments. One was November of 2023. I started doing sound healing. I had a sound healer come to my house, and I was still doing conventional stuff, but I had a sound healer, and I was doing turkey tail mushroom at the same time. And then my acupuncturist had me on this specific protocol. I was waking up depressed every day. It was like I lost all my money. I lost my job. Like I lost my independence. I couldn't drive anywhere. I was almost so helpless. And once I started doing all those things,
what did that do for you? Turkey tail mushroom.
Turkey tail it boosts the immune system.
Oh, okay.
And I was taking a ton. I was taking, maybe like 4 to 6 grams a day. I was taking a ton.
Oh, really?
A lot, yeah.
Will it help grow Greg's gallbladder back?
I mean, did you have that removed, Greg?
Yeah, I did. But
you didn't know that?
You didn't know that? You might be the only person on the planet.
Under what rock have you been residing?
No, I had throat cancer from they cut me from behind my ear all the way to my Adam's apple and stuff. And they took out the lymph nodes. But You know, they caught me in time. I mean, I had like a peanut growing off my throat. I mean, that's considered a big ass tumor. You
He
know,
had a sore throat last week. He thought he had cancer again. Yeah.
Right.
no.
Isn't that,
Oh, that,
isn't that
Yeah,
crazy?
check me.
And
It was in that
Kim,
area.
Kim,
Yeah.
did you also know he's a diabetic?
Yes.
Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. They need turkey tail to get their brains
You know,
back.
they have those farms here.
George
in
put
Florida.
turkey tail in the cookies. The
Yeah,
latest batch
mushroom
of
farms,
cookies.
yeah.
George is going to come out with a turkey tail
You
cookie.
could see George's gears moving. as
No,
soon
he
as
didn't, John. That was the last batch. He had turkey tail in there.
They have organic mushroom farms right here in Florida, Dave.
Do you,
They
do
do.
you have, do you have anything?
Mushroom.
Don't
Organic-
listen to them. Don't
Do you have
listen
any
to them.
lion's mane or anything in your cookies? Or
He
Yeah.
did. He put lion's mane too. I told him to. I'm the one who told him to mix coffee
yeah.
extract with the mushrooms in there, and he did it. They were delicious. These things.
Yeah.
You should send Kim some of those, John.
I will.
I mean, George.
I will.
thank you. I mean, I'd pay for some too because I've heard about how good these cookies
He'll
are.
donate them to you, of course.
Yeah.
No, I think your story. I think your story is a great story. I believe that you will put through that because that I believe in God that you are going to
Yeah.
survive, and now you're gonna be a voice for other people who are going through things like that or other things in their life that happened physically and how you overcame it and they can. So this
Thank you.
I agree with that.
an
Do you have
inspirational
children or
story.
anything?
It's a great story that this is what we need podcasts and Instagram for. This type of stuff. You know.
Thank you. I mean, and
I
then
agree.
look at those pictures of when I was, jacked. And then when I was in the hospital, fellas, I was probably 95, 97 pounds. I lost everything. I was like skin and bones. And so that was a mental.
How tall are you? How tall are you?
I'm like 5'3".
Yeah, but
Okay.
you're pretty yoked now.
Thank you. It's coming
Go ahead,
back.
throw up a double buy. Go ahead.
Did you look at her neck?
Oh,
That
shit.
I can't
Oh,
even
shit.
believe that she came back. From
Whoa,
that neck.
whoa, whoa! That wasn't her.
Yeah.
Yes, it
That was
was.
her.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Go back.
Hold on.
Do you have children at all, or you?
No. And you know what? I think that helps. I think when you have a family and everything,
Oh my!
a little more on the line. But yeah, I was looking in the mirror at myself every day like this, thinking,
That's
what
you.
the hell? What the hell happened to my life?
What
Yeah,
the fuck? That's
You
so
lost your hair
horrible.
too. I'm assuming from the
Lost
chemo.
my hair. I had these big things of just dead tissue hanging off of my. I was wrapped up in bandages for probably like 7 months, where my neck and my
So start to
things were
finish,
dead.
how long did this whole ordeal last?
So March 2023 was the first really big symptom, and then I was first. My oncologist first said remission this past fall, but the first no evidence of disease was last April. So like between last summer, this fall was the first time I was in the clear and like nothing was showing up on my scans and everything. So-
Like healed, like you look now.
Yeah. I mean, last summer, I feel like when this one finally healed up, my face, I would start to look like me again because I still had a lot of like inflammation down here. So I looked like me, but I didn't. But I would say I started to really look like me in the fall. That's when I got my.
Did you ever get frustrated and say to yourself, "I'll fucking cut this dead skin or this shit out of myself"? I did, because I get like that. I was nuts. You know what I mean? I was thinking maybe I can go down my own throat and clip that shit. You know what I mean?
If it
Didn't you
wasn't,
play her the video of you sucking the pus out of your arm with the syringe?
I think that's what dudes would do. I think dudes would probably just be like, "Fuck it, I'll just."
I would.
Greg, you would have tried to drain that thing for sure.
Greg
On
would have been,
video, too.
Greg would have been sticking needles in it, like with a syringe, and like
I swear to
over
God.
and over again.
I would've actually,
When
like-
it bends, he'd still be using it. You know.
I had like a wart coming on my fucking eyeball, like I what do you call it? Eyelid, right? I was like, "Fuck this shit!" So I took a scissor and I cut it off. You know what I mean?
Like a sty or whatever?
No, like like something.
Jim, he's a hypochondriac. He probably had a skin tag that he cut off.
Yeah, like that kind, like a wart. It was a wart.
And it was this long string connected to it. They didn't know what to do with it.
I just was like, "Fuck this shit! I ain't getting no warts." Like,
How long have you been in remission, Kim?
So the first time he ever said remission was
Past fall.
I think like this past fall. Yeah. And then in April, I got a scan and he said, "Well, it's almost been a year since you've had treatment. And so we're going to push these out to every 6 months." And so in the hospital, and mind you, I did go to Mexico this time 2 years ago to get treatment, but I didn't realize I was late stage. So that was a stupid move. I couldn't do this naturally when I was stage 4. But conventionally, I went to the hospital in April 2023, and then I got chemo in the hospital. When I got out in September, I would go every 2 weeks to get chemo infusions, and every 6 weeks I would get immunotherapy. So immunotherapy, Keytruda, is really big for oral type of cancers.
Yeah,
So it's been over a year since you've had.
So my last treatment, it'll be a year next month since I've had treatment.
Did you do any like glutathione or anything like that, or any kind of like fenbendazole or
Yeah,
ivermectin?
that's a good question. I did Fenben for a little bit last spring. I did fenbendazole, and then you know what's weird, Dave, is that I would ask my oncologist if I could do certain things, like can I get a nutrient IV or can I do glutathione? And he would shut it down, and he was like, "No, we need you to be as toxic as possible for
that makes sense. Yeah, that really makes sense. Yeah, what a fucking loony.
Right. So then you get in your head, you're like, "Well, damn, should I not?" And so the only natural thing that I took outside of what they had was the Fenben and or I should say alternative was Fenben.
You didn't have any medical marijuana?
Fenbendazole is supposed to be tremendously good against cancer. I mean, it's an it's against worms. You remember I told everyone to go buy that Parapurge stuff? It's fenbendazole and ivermectin to get rid of parasites. Well, they say that a lot of people have gotten cured from stage 4 cancer with that.
Yeah.
Not everyone, but it works for a population of people. I don't know why, but it does.
That's that dye, right, Dave? It's the blue dye.
They say because if you have an overload of parasites in your body, we all have parasites, but if you have an overload, it taxes the immune system, and that's why sometimes you can get cancer because the immune system can't handle the cancer cells. So a lot of people get relief, and they get over their cancer naturally with using the fenbendazole ivermectin combination.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of that.
It's interesting that she took it. I wonder if that helped. I bet it did.
I was like, I'm not just going to depend on what they say. I knew I was going to have to do some other stuff. But are you talking about the dye? What is it called? The blue dye?
Methylene blue.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that works too.
Have you tried methylene blue?
I did it for a little bit this past fall, and it was kind of like I was feeling like I was in the clear, so I kind of did it preventatively, and it helped with my energy. But I mean, the chemotherapy, not the chemo, I feel like it was actually the Keytruda. The immunotherapy wrecked my gut, though. And I had total about 4 weeks of antibiotics, 2 oral, and then 2 IV. And so I've had a lot of gut stuff I've had to try to correct on my own because I'm not getting help from the hospital like that.
Well, Greg, there's someone who's worse off than you are. Do you feel better now about yourself?
I do. I feel a lot better.
well, Greg, I got a question for you. So,
the
first symptom was just like a peanut size.
Yeah, what happened was I was like, look, you feel this thing in your throat, and I look down my throat, and I see this like what looks like a fucking like almost like a peanut sized thing growing off where my tonsil was, right? And then I go to my doctor. And she didn't see it. She started treating me for tonsillitis. And I'm like, this ain't working. I tell you, there's something down my throat. And then she looks again and she goes, oh my God, I see it now. Right. I'm so sorry. We got to get that out, So she goes and does the operation on me, takes it out, tells me, thank God we got the whole thing and it's not cancerous. And then calls me back a week later, says, I made a mistake. We didn't get the whole thing, and it's totally cancerous. And I'm like, holy fuck, So then I had to have a second operation. I was supposed to be on the Patrick Bet David show, the first one, Dave. That was February 13th, right? And then
wait a minute, you're missing a whole part. This was during COVID, and you were all alone.
But what happened?
He was all alone. No one was with him the whole time.
What happened was, but the second one was the bad one. That was just when the third one was worse. But the thing is, the second one was March 17th. That's when they shut down everything. My girlfriend was hiding in the hospital and shit, and they got her out. The security got her out because they wouldn't let anybody in the hospital. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then they took that out, and then they cut me from here to here, And they took out my lymph nodes because they were afraid. And
you should have just gotten you should have got the gallbladder out then. That would have been saved you.
They should have took it out my neck.
Yeah.
But
Fished it
And
out.
what happened was a week later, I'm sitting at home, and all of a sudden I feel this warm sensation in my mouth, and my whole everything exploded and opened up. So I had to take me to the hospital, and I was pulling like chunks of liver out of fucking throat, out of my throat, because it was like the blood
Pumps of blood.
Coagulated.
and it was like closing my throat. And the emergency room guy goes to me, "Holy shit!" He goes, "I've seen people dead in here, but he goes, I've seen people in car accidents." He goes, "That's the most disgusting." I mean, and you know what it is? This is COVID now. Now it's full blown COVID. There's COVID patients in the hospital, and I'm walking around with a bucket, vomiting blood, right? And there's blood all over my face. I look like Carrie. I'm going, and the chunks of liver fucking coming out of my mouth, right? And there's people like, get them away. Like they thought, like, holy shit, like the COVID, like, you know, made COVID look like we were going to be like the Walking.
They thought it was the zombie apocalypse.
Right.
Just put that image together in your head. Come on.
Yeah, but you know what the worst part is? I went to the hospital. Right? Check this out. I go to the hospital. Now it's COVID's fucking everywhere. The nurses are like afraid to touch you and shit. Everybody's afraid because you know they're all believing that COVID's, you know, you're gonna turn you into a zombie. So now they tell me, look, call your family. We're gonna have to we're gonna do the surgery right away, or you're basically gonna either die of suffocation or drown in your own blood. So I call my family. I tell them, look, they're gonna put me in surgery, and you know I'll be all right after this. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, I get knocked out. I wake up a fucking day or two later, and I'm in another hospital. And my family has no idea where they are, where I am. That my family's been calling that hospital. We don't know where he is. He was shipped to another hospital. What hospital? They're like, we don't know. They sent me to Westchester Medical.
Johnny was actually in Montgomery, Alabama. He didn't realize it, and he had to go through Atlanta Airport to get there.
And he was the one driving. No one knew that.
I woke up and Larry
checked himself out and started driving around to another hospital.
No, but I woke up, right, and I had this like nurse, like Mrs. Clumps, and she's like sitting there, and I'm tied down like this, and I'm like looking around, and I got tubes down my throat. I didn't need tubes down my throat. So I kept pointing like this, like, and she's going, "Oh, I know you want the tubes. We can't do that." Because, dude, if you had a hangnail back then, they would have stuck a tube down your throat because it was COVID, and they got off for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there. So she walks out of the room. I swear to God, Kim, I looked. There was a clock right there, right? I was actually saying Hail Marys in my head, you know, because look, I wear rosary beads and shit. Because unlike these guys who are demonic on this show, I believe in Jesus and all that. So anyway,
So do I.
Okay, I know you do. But I think Dave's demonic. But anyway, I'm kidding, Dave. So I sit there and I say how much. All of a sudden, I ask God, please just help me out of this, man. I don't know what the hell's going on. All of a sudden, I choked because I'm kept fucking fidgeting around it, and you know, on the tubes down the throat. And all of a sudden, next thing I know, I'm off the gurney. I must have snapped it. You know, I snapped. They had me tied down. I snapped the things. I didn't do it. I wish I could tell you I did it like Hercules, where pop, pop. But I didn't. I just panicked. And next thing I know, I'm off the gurney. And I realized, holy shit, I must have popped up. So I pulled the fucking things out of my throat and I threw them on the ground. And then they all come running in and freaking out. And I said, I can breathe. Look, don't put that shit down my fucking throat. Matter of fact, I'm getting out of here. I was stark naked, you know? And they lost my.
Now we're talking.
They still came to the room.
Wait, they lost my.
And Johnny was hitting leg poses too.
Wait, they had the tube up officially got.
You had the shades on too, Greg?
He's like, don't look at my upper body, but I got great legs. He said.
No, listen, I
only do one set of legs once a week.
Not even the tighty whities, nothing. You had zero.
I had the tube.
Not to mention you had a catheter up as you know what. Too.
I did. I had the tube.
So I told them that was the most enjoyable part of the whole ordeal to him.
You're pulling tubes out of everywhere.
They told me don't pull that out because there's a fucking balloon.
Right.
Oh God!
I know you think. I know you think this sounded terrible, John. Greg, she had holes in her neck.
I know that.
You didn't have any holes in your neck.
Listen,
you only had one hole.
She has me beat. God bless. Yes. But she doesn't. I'm sure she's not happy.
No, yes.
But you know what, Greg? I would think, thank God this wasn't COVID. The whole time I was in the hospital.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Because my brothers were there the whole time. I had friends visiting me. And Romano, to go back to you, if it was during COVID, I probably wouldn't have thought I would have made it because I would have been.
Well, you know what they would have done to you, Kim? They would have fucking done. Listen, I didn't have COVID, but everybody else in the unit had COVID. Thank God I didn't have COVID because that allowed me to. I told them, "I'm sign me out." My girlfriend came and picked me up at 2 a.m. They lost my clothes. She had to bring clothes. I told them I'll go out naked. I don't give a fuck. I get a big special legat, so you guys enjoy that. So, you know, I had to get out of there, bro. I was like, yeah, and they told me you can't leave. I said, you're not keeping me against my will.
He's got to add that in every show.
You ever hear that expression, the lady doth profess too much? Me
Wait, listen, Tim, here's the thing. My
No, he's got to add in the big show.
listen, I got to tell you something. Listen.
I got to let him talk, John, because he's going to Alabama this
Wait,
week.
hold on. My son's
We
wife.
hear about that piece of legats every show.
I know every show he's gonna throw it in somewhere.
Somewhere it's got to go in.
That's the new thing we got to ask him.
A lot of marketing
Bill
behind
Wright
that.
has a big show.
It's like the red plastic
That's a big
lobster hidden
result.
at Trader
Wait, I
Joe's.
want to make a point. At the same time, right? There's the COVID shit going. My son's wife's cousin, right, had he had bronchitis, and he always had a history of bronchitis. So he goes to the hospital because he's panicking, and he thought, oh shit, I might have this COVID stuff that's out now. So he goes to the hospital, and he just had congestion. It wasn't bad, but they said to him, listen, we're gonna help you out. We're gonna put you on a fucking breathing machine, right? Just for one day. That'll clear that up, and it'll take away your bronchitis. Basically rest. He calls his family, tells them they're gonna put me on a breathing machine for a day. And then I'll be fine. They put him on a breathing machine. 1 week later, he was still in the machine. The thing on your face rotted all his shit out. He died. He died. The bacteria got in underneath the mask. It rotted his face out. He didn't need a breathing machine.
No.
You don't need a breathing machine unless you cannot breathe at all.
So,
Yeah,
like you were saying, they were getting paid to put people.
Yeah, we're getting paid big money.
$34,000 a pop.
That's
Yeah.
right. And they gave him that other thing with the R.
Yeah.
Dude, I was
Yeah,
in there.
yeah.
Those
That's
two
it.
things.
There's therapy.
I saw a little boy, maybe 10 years old, and they had the fucking mask on, and they had him tied down, and they were wheeling him down the hall.
They all died. If you got on the respirator, you died because
That's
what they would do
what-
is they kept turning it up. They
Once
kept
they did,
turning it
you-
up
you-
and turning it up and
it's
turning
over
it up until it blew out
But
all
you
your.
have nobody to tell the
Right.
doctor, get him off the respirator. You know, like, you need a blanket. I was in there. They didn't even, dude, I had a bruise on the back of my head. I was like, I must have drove them crazy. They probably were banging my head and shit like this while I was knocked out and shit,
Tim,
you know?
some of the people are asking, did you take the get that vaccination done?
No. I wouldn't be here. Honestly, if I would have, I wouldn't be talking to you guys right now.
No, Kim, you know, is your strength came, because you have faith and all that shit. I believe that made you strong. You believed in, my sister lived with the worst cancer possible for 11 years. After everybody else gets it within months, they're dead. Round cell sarcoma. I'm just saying, you have that strength in you. That shows your strength. I believe that.
I think what's really interesting is what she said about the fact that, I really believe that the mind manifests in the body.
That's
a lot
what I'm
of
saying.
illnesses.
It comes from her
like you
faith.
said. Can I talk, Greg? Give me a second here.
No, you can't. No.
Hey, goddamn, you talk too much.
You can't talk.
She was when Kim said that she always held her tongue or didn't say things.
Right.
It's like almost like she manifested what she was doing to her body negatively, and it manifested in her tongue, which is incredible when you think about it. I told you guys the story about how my father, when he went to the army, he hated being there, and he would always get himself in trouble with his big mouth, and he lost his ability to speak. He couldn't speak. And they couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. He couldn't speak, and he went to the psychologist there on the base, and the guy said, "Is it possible? You keep getting these duties of with cleaning the floors with a toothbrush because you keep mouthing off to these officers." And as soon as he made my father recognize what he was doing, his speech came back spontaneously. So your body can turn itself off. It can give yourself diseases. So everyone manifests them differently. And
Well, I talk shit. Is that why I always have to go to the bathroom?
You are what you eat, Greg.
I can't hold my shit. I can take a punch in the
It's
face.
all those enemas you give
All
yourself.
that ham in the can.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all that ham in the
Damn it.
can and the enemas. You got
You know,
you got to back off.
It has a big brijot.
Them goddamn trannies sticking those dicks up my ass. I can't.
There he goes again.
That's
Now,
it.
You had to go there.
I'm only kidding.
he's checking all the boxes. How to get defunded.
No, a lot of people like my shoulder doctor. He's a bodybuilder. The guy who did my replacement say, a lot of men take all their stress on their shoulders.
Yeah,
it manifests there, and so he goes, "That's probably you're a guy who carries around a lot of like burdens." And he's like, "That could be why your shoulders went on you." You know what I mean? it's not the reason. Obviously, you did things to make it worse, but that's where your weakness is. Everyone has a weakness in their body, and that's where they'll manifest problems. And I think that sometimes if you can recognize these problems, like sometimes you get these people that have these inexplainable gut issues, right? You see a lot of people who have high anxiety, stress.
No, I don't have anxiety.
They manifest it in their gut, and there's nothing wrong with their gut, but yet they have like colitis and all these problems. It's because it's a physical manifestation of what's mentally going on in their brain.
You manufacture that bad juju, it's got to go somewhere, and it
Dave,
usually goes to the weakest point. So wherever you hold, women tend to hold their stress in their neck and their hips. Low back, hips, and men, shoulders and like up here.
Because we have shallow breathing. We breathe.
Yeah, but I think because Dave.
No, it's because we're expected to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders.
Yes, that's exactly what he told me. Yeah,
exactly.
I think Dave's big head put strain on his shoulders.
That's probably it too. Yeah,
probably. Dave, did you?
But his feet counterbalance it. So
Greg's recently got put
it out.
I promised Lee Priest that I'm going to take his place and fucking bust your balls really bad. So
I'm a good ball buster. You know that, Greg. I don't know if you want
we're going to have Lee live. Lee's coming live with us. He's going to go live with us.
I can't believe Lee is not going to be at this Alabama appearance. I'm very upset.
Putting a big hole.
I sent Jimmy the Bull a link to the show, and I said, "Listen, we're all going to Alabama, including him." I said, "Can you please make an appearance?" And I don't see any Jimmy the Bull.
He called me.
Is this verified? He's really going?
Yeah, I spoke to him this morning.
He's booked. He's booked, John.
He's booked. And Greg is booked.
Yes.
Yeah. He called me this morning. I missed his call.
He said he's not coming because nobody called him on Father's Day.
Are you kidding me?
He's disappointed with you, Dave.
I'm not. He's not my father, though. He has two daughters.
I'll show you the text. I texted him Happy Father's
You never
Day.
answer the phone.
That's a bad excuse.
Yeah,
he's not my father, though. Why do I have to call my father?
No. Because it's in general, Dave. It's in general. He's complaining. I don't know what's wrong with Dave. He never returns my phone call. They call him. He doesn't call me back. I text him. He doesn't send
I don't call anyone back.
What the hell? Doesn't he know I'm working my ass off over here?
And I got kids.
And that's all. He's dejected. He feels disenfranchised and abandoned
by his. Got to meet with us this coming weekend.
He was driving from you know what he was? He was in the rain driving from back upstate New York.
Yeah.
In pouring rain, 55 degrees.
I don't care. I have no sympathy for his
truck full of rocks.
I'm like, Jimmy, I'm driving to the beach to go.
That's right. He could be driving with you to the beach instead of on the rain.
He can be. He could be.
I can't believe he didn't come down here and drive down with me. I'm surprised.
By choice, he lives a life of misery. That's his own choice.
Yeah, own choice. Kim, where do you live?
Currently, I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Oh, cool. So you're not going to Montgomery, Alabama?
I am not going to Alabama. Is there a show you guys are going to?
Oh, Greg is. Greg's my.
Greg, my suit's.
Yeah, you don't know about our event, Montgomery.
I don't think she follows the show right
now.
Oh, man. She's worried about overcoming cancer, John.
Kim,
what better reason to not to listen up?
A lot of people have been cured of cancer from
got whatever disease, malady you got. You watch our show, you forget all about that shit because you haven't seen the sad sack lives that everybody lives here. So.
No, the last episode I saw was with the cookies, and you guys are talking about bringing them a few hundred to a show or something like that.
Yeah, that's the show this weekend coming up. Yeah.
So that's.
Have you cooked them yet?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Wait, Kim, are you married or anything? Are you got?
No. I'm looking though.
Are you looking for a second to add a second wife?
Who?
Greg.
Who? Oh,
me? Looking for a second wife?
I can't handle the one I got.
That's just your wife.
You want the harem?
No, I'm old.
How young are you, Kim? How young are you now?
Kim, how old?
I'm 28.
45.
She could be our daughter.
Look, you're 28 years old.
40.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you.
Like
you got that. You got that.
I thought you were going to say 27.
Skin. Wow.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Wait, Dave, can we do a show where we try to find guys that are in her area, maybe that are kind of into
The
body
last
same
guys in the world we want her going out with are the ones
come
that
on,
watch
let's-
our show. Don't, you
Let's do a
would
dating-
you want your sister dating anybody in the fucking mooks that watch our show? No,
My sister's dead.
absolutely not.
Why don't
even
we do a
think of that.
dating game? Why don't we do a dating game? Let's see if we can
I
hook
just
him up with
told
a nice
you
guy. Huh? No, but we could hook her up with a nice guy.
Where from our come on.
No, we're
Greg,
good.
do you know
Who you gonna hook her up with?
Greg, how many
The
guys she
email.
meets every day? She gets hit
Yeah.
on every day.
At
Well,
least.
you know what's crazy?
So, but maybe we'll find a guy that has her likes and dislikes.
Why do you gotta try to hook her up with somebody? Well, just
Yeah.
leave her alone.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Once I got into competing, I feel like dudes started to be afraid of me. To be honest, I think guys were
Only the
threatened
weak
by me.
ones.
Well,
Don't
you're
date-
hot. That's why guys are intimidated by hot girls. That's why.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't
So
date
you're-
bodybuilders, Kim.
No,
Don't date.
No,
Forget about
Hot,
it.
hot, muscular women scare a lot
Do
of
you
guys.
like criminals?
They're so they don't have the self confidence.
Oh, wait, yeah. What about
to manage it. So,
That's a good question, Amin.
Thank you.
Amin single, right?
What was the question I mean is?
Amin's like, do you date
you like
criminals?
criminals?
That's what everyone on the show.
We're all criminals on this show anyway. So
every one of us.
I
is a
thought he
criminal.
said, do you date cripples?
Did you know all of us were
No.
ex-cons?
How would you think that?
We're all felons. We're all
That's your-
felons.
Kim's
That
going to
was
call
the
her.
best line of the whole show. I gotta tell you.
Kim's
Kim,
going to
you
tell
look
her
hot.
friends, "Yeah, I'm on this show called RX Muscle. It's all ex-cons."
Wait,
And then,
Kim,
you know-
listen to me.
Well, it's-
Not,
Kim,
not
All right, guys.
actually.
I'll see y'all this weekend. I gotta go.
Convicted
All right,
Kim, if
too.
you start dating
They are
women,
convicted also.
See you in a couple days,
say to
Omar.
me, don't go.
Yeah,
Don't
see
let
you.
him give you anything.
See you,
Don't let
see
him
you
get
Friday.
Check your drink and stuff. If you start like if you ever dated somebody like Amin, check your drink. Don't make him drink it
That was
first.
your idea.
Dave, what's her Instagram again?
Jones. my
Jones
last
dot
name,
strength.
Jones. Yeah, Jones.
Jones.strength.
Period strength. Yeah.
All right, we're all gonna follow you now.
What's more impressive than your physique is that your strength in getting over this. I think that a lot of people watch this show because of bodybuilding and their physique and stuff. But I mean, listen, you know, I've had experience with cancer, and not my personal, but dealing with my stepson who died of it, and it's hard to see what you went through. I honestly I couldn't look at the screen. But,
You know what's amazing though is and
beat it.
what's amazing is right now you don't look like you've been through that ordeal.
Oh shit.
You look like you just have not. If you weathered a storm like that, you don't look it, and that is testament to the
True
strength
survivor.
Greg was talking about.
Right.
You know, yeah, you plowed
That's what I
through this
said.
and came out the other end.
That's why her story.
That's what I
Just looking at
said.
you can tell you're not affected. You're amazing.
John, that's why her story is a great story because other
Yep.
people that are going through stuff, and you can show what she looks like, especially for a female losing their hair
Right,
and
and their looks and all
Guys,
their
it's
body
different.
and all that stuff that you
Yeah.
worked for.
Her strength. Her
Yeah.
strength is
Go
great.
through that.
Strength is amazing.
Her
You've been blessed, Kim's.
But Kim, it's not just your strength; it's also your belief in God. And I
That's what I meant to
I want
say.
to I want to say thank you for bringing that to the show, because whenever somebody is facing anything challenging and they don't think that they got a way out of it, it's good to hear other people say that, you know, it's my belief and my faith that got me through it. And so thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. I wouldn't be here if I didn't have a relationship with God. And the crazy thing is, I went through a bunch of just personal drama, like ex-boyfriend stuff, before I moved to Arizona. And that's honestly when I went to Catholic school my whole life, but never had a lot of strong faith. But around 2017, 2018, like I hit rock bottom emotionally, found God, and it just all prepared me. It all prepared me for this journey. And so that's why, John, I felt like I was going to get through it, because I thought, I've got the faith. I didn't think that I was going to go through all this stuff and then die. I felt like there was going to be a lesson to be learned from it. It was to speak up and ask for help. I was somebody that I just do it myself. You know, I'm an independent woman. I just do it myself. But I am okay asking for help now, and I speak up a lot faster now. And I've learned the lessons that I needed to. So sometimes you just got to get knocked down.
Did you surrender to the Lord?
Completely, 100%.
Let me ask you a question. Where are you from originally? Because you said you moved to Arizona. You're not from Arizona?
Yeah, I'm from Inglewood, California.
Oh, okay.
Inglewood.
Let me ask you a question. What happened to your hand? I see you got a bandage on your hand.
Oh, you know, I was waking up in the middle of the night, and my think a tendon. There's inflammation. My thumb was clicking and it was getting stuck. And
I had surgery on that. Yeah, that's trigger
So-
finger.
Greg
Yeah,
had everything.
Trigger finger.
Did yours ever?
You and Kim must be soulmates. You got
I
the
know.
throat
We are.
thing. You got the trigger finger.
If we had a baby, the
Quit
hands would be
playing.
fucked up. the toes-
Kim, you don't use enemas on a regular basis, do you?
I do coffee enemas actually.
Oh, there you go. You guys
There
are
you go.
soulmates. Holy
You guys
man.
can have- you two can have
Give each
coffee in
other
the morning.
enemas.
Who would ever guess?
Greg, now you can have coffee in the morning.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Tim, don't listen to these guys. They're bad. They're evil. They're evil.
You guys are funny. I appreciate the laugh.
We got to get her a pair of sunglasses to wear, John. That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
Tim, don't be
Soulmates.
afraid though. That surgery.
You could be like the Blues Brothers.
I had
you
it
know.
on, I've had like 4 of them, and it's
So it's just yours is never. Just never.
It's very hard for it to ever go back and not do the pulley in your finger right here.
Yeah.
You know, they just go in there, flip, and cut it, and that's it. It seems like a big thing. Like, oh no, I went to the gym with like my hand stitched and shit. You know, the thumb's a pain in the ass because you use the thumb and everything.
For everything. Yeah.
But I had a trigger finger. You'll hear these people, no, we can do this holistic thing, stretch it out. I did all that shit. It didn't work. I went to like an occupational therapist, all that shit. It didn't work.
How long were you dealing with it before you had to do the surgery?
I was dealing with it for a while because I kept thinking like a year and shit. But then I've had it on other fingers too.
He likes going to doctor's appointments too. So.
Dave, this is starting to sound like a first date.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I had too much of it. Too much loving going on here, guys. Remember, BodyB1Classic.com. We're going to be in Montgomery, Alabama on Friday. We have the seminar Friday night. Saturday all day is the show. We're going to be, greeting and meeting all the fans, having a fun time. They're going to be filming Jumbo Palumbo Part 2 there, documentary. If you're in Montgomery, Alabama, you have a very good chance of making it in there, especially if you do something pretty crazy. Probably be in the documentary as well. And I'm looking forward to seeing all you guys this weekend. And I want to thank Kim Jones for stopping by today.
Yes,
sharing
Kim.
an amazing story with us. I hope you guys were inspired by it. I know I was. I know the Whack Pack was.
It's really cool getting
we
to
love
meet
you, Kim, and thanks for doing that.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Kim, God bless you. I love you.
All right.
I really
We'll
love
be
you.
back
God
next
bless you.
Tuesday with a full report of
Kim,
what happened in
run.
Montgomery,
Do
Alabama.
not walk. Run the other way.
There we go, baby. Sweet home Alabama.
Yeah, well, don't